What's up, y'all? It's me, Erica. And this is just me talking about anything that's happening, everything that's happening. Um, Everything that's happening in the world. Not too much, but y'all, I don't know. Like Atlanta, I don't know. What's going on in Atlanta? What is going on in Atlanta? What is going on at the Wendy's, child, down in Atlanta? Did y'all see the video? Girl, I just saw the video of the man trying to explain himself like, look, yes. And to me, I feel like a peace officer, a police officer. If somebody is in a car asleep because they're drunk and they've parked because they have the enough sense to say, I'm too drunk to drive, let me park, you get them out of the car to say, well, you weren't driving because you were drunk? Right, you didn't witness me driving, so you have not witnessed me break the law because I'm sitting in my car. Now, you can give me a citation for public drunkenness. Yeah, you might be able to do that. But to arrest me, let me walk home. Better yet, police officer, in order for you to make sure that I'm safe, why don't you drive me to my destination? But no, what's the alternative? Let's arrest him, and then in turn, when he fights, because he's like, listen, and when people say that these folks are resisting arrest, no, they're not. They're resisting death. Do you understand that? They're resisting death. And when you put I've said it, you can go to my Twitter timeline. I've said it 5,000 times. A human response to danger is fight or flight, right? So when you put your knee in my back, my body's response is to fight to get you off of me, right? Or to run away. That's not resisting. I'm not going to allow you to kill me. So I'm going to fight to the death, if that's the case. I'm going to fight for my life, if that's the case. And when you put your knee on somebody's back or on somebody's neck, which means this is the new thing that they're doing. And when you put your knee on, the person only has the body is only going to respond two ways. And me moving so that I'm trying to keep myself alive to survive, that's not resisting, my nigga. Like, y'all need the whole thing, when they say defunding, the whole thing needs to be restructured. The hiring process needs to be restructured. How long it takes to become a cop needs to be restructured. Cultural bias training needs to happen. We need to see how you respond. We need to put you in a room and see who you shoot. Do you shoot the black people first or do you shoot the white people first? Let's test you to see where your biases lie. Okay? Let's do that. Let's take the money that we're giving you guys to run. You went to high school, graduated with a 1.9 grade point average, figured you couldn't do nothing else, decided to become a cop, and now you have access to a gun, and you've only been in training, less than 6 weeks, 8 weeks, you have access to a gun, and now the military is bringing their old ass tanks in here that they've overspent, and now you get to drive a tank down the street, my nigga. You ain't been trained for shit. The amount of training you have as a cop, you couldn't even do my fucking eyebrows. You don't have enough training to do my eyebrows. Okay? You don't have a fucking enough training to flip a burger at McDonald's. But you get a gun, and then you have your biases along with that. In addition to what the media feeds you, you don't like black people. You don't feel comfortable around them. Even with a gun and a taser gun and a grenade and a tank, you still afraid of an unarmed, drunk person. Y'all, that shit is crazy to me. Burn the shit down. Burn it down. The Wendy's burnt down. Then they declared it a homicide. This is another thing. When these cops do these things, charge them. Just like somebody said last night, throwing tear gas at at a cop, and the cop getting hit by the tear gas is considered to be a deadly weapon. You have now assaulted a cop with a deadly weapon. So why is it okay for you to shoot that deadly weapon into a group of people who do not, or who are not armed with the same artillery as you? Defund them. Take some money so that when you get calls for public drunkenness, or when you get a fender bender, or when there is somebody who's roaming around on the streets talking to themselves, you can call a professional, not a D average student with a gun. And that's all that it is. That's all that it is. Take the money away. And for people to say, oh, it's the wrong use of language. You know what the fuck defund means. That means to take money away. It doesn't have to be it doesn't sound. In other words, you're saying that people don't understand it. It's a way for people to flip it. It's a way for people to say, like this, some white dude got on TV saying there's no such thing as systemic racism. What? That's the privilege a white person has, to make a statement like that. You can't speak on an experience that you will never have. You will never have an experience of a black man or black woman or black child. Because let me tell you something. Another thing we need to stop doing is stop saying that they killing black men. They killing everybody black. Black people, men, women, and children. Okay? I don't know why George Zimmerman is walking around today. He should have a, what do they call them? Colombian neckties? Yeah. He should have one of those. That's what should have, the same thing, that the way that Nicole Brown Simpson was looking on them steps over there. That's George Zimmerman should have met the same fate. And this is why I know that it's what's happening now. And then they found somebody hanging from a tree in Victorville. And then in Palmdale. Now, Palmdale, I've always said about Palmdale, Lancaster, all those places that are 50 miles away from Los Angeles, 50 miles away from a good hospital, miles away from an airport. And you gonna move, and then when the gentrification shit started happening, about 20 years ago, I want to say in the 90s, in the mid 90s, I used to always tell my mom, I want to move downtown. I want to move downtown. No, why you want to move downtown with all them derelicts and stuff like that? I want to move downtown. Now, downtown, in order to get a house down there, it's very, very expensive. Them lofts down there are over $1 million. When I liked them, they were like $300,000. When I liked them, that was back in the day. But when gentrification started happening, prices started going up. People started selling their grandmother's houses and moving to Lancaster and Palmdale. And I've always said about Lancaster and Palmdale, anything Santa Clarita, and just keep going. Just keep going all the way out there. It's off the grid, barefoot motherfuckers out there. Understand? Eating carrot slaw and green bean casserole and mayonnaise sandwiches every night. They don't like black people out there. And what y'all did was move all those black people out of the city. You moved them out of the city and moved them in. There's big houses out here in Lancaster. You in the middle of nowhere where people live off the grid. And then you're going to find bodies hanging from trees. Black people hanging from trees. And then rule it a homicide. Let me tell you something about black people. One thing we not going to do if we are going to die by suicide is hang ourselves. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. It's not. No. Just on history alone, black people, honey, go look for black folks dying by suicide. And go look at how we die by suicide. Go look at the stats. Ain't no hangings. That's how white people kill black people. Not how black people kill themselves, okay? So that missed me with that. But I feel like all of these things are trying to get people riled up. I feel like all of these things keep happening, and it just seems like it's like a domino effect. You hit one domino down and it just goes. Video, killing. It's too much. I'm here to remind you. Unplug. Your heart rate is going to be going up. You are going to be upset. You're not going to understand why you're upset. Your anxiety, all of that stuff. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself, right? Yes, you want to keep up to date on what's going on in the world, and that's okay. But limit it, because I feel like a lot of this stuff, and I could be a conspiracy theorist all day, but I feel like a lot of this stuff is happening intentionally, and then also and being circulated intentionally, I should say, because it doesn't have to circulate, because you know why? Breonna Taylor, it didn't circulate. It wasn't circulating. That wasn't news that was circulating. Another young lady was killed in Florida. I think it's in Tallahassee. After she was sexually assaulted, she came on to Twitter and talked about it. And a few days later, she's dead. When people tell you something has happened to them, that's when we talk about believing women, believing them. 19 years old, gone. So they circulate certain things. The media has a way, and we already know what the goal is. They have a way to do things and to circulate things so that you can see it all the time. So be mindful of what you're ingesting. It's just a reminder. We can talk about the things, but there's a way to talk about the things without actually, I for one am leaving the anger to other people. It's not an emotion that my emotional labor for certain things, I have to be mindful on where I expend my emotional labor. Let's see. Nene got on, I don't know what she was on. She was being interviewed by somebody, and she was saying that she felt ganged up on Real Housewives of Atlanta, and then she compared her being ganged up on the murder of George Floyd being ganged up on. You know how George Floyd was ganged up on? You know how those men were sitting on his back? I felt ganged up on like that. Girl, what? How are you so fucking tone deaf to compare the shit that you actually do on TV for money? You get paid to act a fool, bitch. Don't say that you're out here getting ganged up on and then compare it to somebody's murder. I don't care whose murder she compared it to. The fact that you compared police brutality to Kenya and Candy and Cynthia talking shit to you, bitch, for shit that you've done. What kind of dumb? Like, I was like, Nene, you have really gotten beside yourself. Let's see. B. Simone. Laura Govan speaks in support of B. Simone. So here's what I'm talking about. Y'all can make Kylie almost $1 billion and buy all her products, and she stole your whole body, lips, butt, and everything. And I like Kylie, but y'all drag B. Simone for giving y'all some page copied out of a book just to make a few dollars. That's not a few, bitch. She made $1 million. So y'all, when you have to be mindful of the shit that you stand up to support. Meek Mill, he got up to support B. Simone. Nigga, you the same one going after Drake for not writing his raps. How the fuck are you gonna support a bitch taking somebody else's creative work and putting it in her book and then making money out of it? Y'all gotta stop, black people. Y'all got to stop looking at the transgressions of white people and thinking that it's okay to do it because they did it. It's okay to do it. I mean, y'all, they steal from us all the time. That don't make it right. That don't make it right. And we get on their asses too. We got on Kylie's ass. Fake ass. Her fake lips. Everything. This woman bragged on down to the TV and told everybody she made $1 million. And let me tell you, she didn't just steal from white women. She stole from a black creator too. Yes, she did. She stole from a black woman too. So no, you don't get a pass, bitch, just because a white person did it. Absolutely not. Y'all gotta stop doing that. Y'all did the same shit with R. Kelly and Russell Simmons and Harvey Weinstein and all them shit. Well, Harvey Weinstein, you ain't saying nothing about Harvey Weinstein. Motherfucker, he's not abusing black women and girls. Motherfucker, B. Simone is taking money from people who work 9-to-5 jobs. Black people. So you don't get a reward or a cookie for defrauding your people, bitch. And then lying to people. What are you manifesting? You manifest. Remember, I told y'all the other day. The same shit. You manifest positive things. You manifest negative things. And that book, you put together a book of lies. And bitch, you wonder why you can't manifest the things that you want. I manifested. No, you didn't manifest, bitch. You manifested the wrong shit. And then on one of these judge shows, her manager, Skittles or whatever the hell her name is, she's on the damn TV judge show lying. And the judge was like, you sat up here and lied, girl. Y'all remember, it don't matter. Everything you do is a seed. Everything you do with intention is a seed. Whether you do it consciously or subconsciously or unconsciously, okay? You planting a seed. And where you focus that vibration on, the seed is going to soon sprout and harvest. And you will eventually reap what you have sown. Whether the seeds are going to produce a bountiful garden of positivity and great energy, or a seed or a field of fucking weeds and dandelions and shit. Because you created a book and lied to people. You don't get a pass just because a white bitch did it. Just because a white bitch is saying that her lips are big naturally. No, B. Simone. And anybody else defending that shit is whack as fuck too. And anybody making those parallels is whack as fuck too. You don't get to defraud your own people and we sit back and say, well, white people did it. No, you don't get to do that, bitch. And the reviews are speaking for itself. The book is poorly made. You know how many people I know who have self-published a book? I should have brought Tanya TKO's book down here that I spent $20 on. And it is a book of manifesting. And it is a book that you have to fill out. And you fill it out yourself. And you repeat the affirmations. And the artwork is beautiful. And it's bounded. And I can get it from Amazon. The books that I shared on the community page. These black women put their hard-earned work. They didn't go and take somebody else's work and then get down on TV and demean people for working 9 to 5 who used their $35 to buy your stolen book, bitch. And then to use the scam of the law of attraction. I read The Secret. If you read The Secret or you watched the movie, you would know, bitch, whatever you focus on, you got a book of lies. And what you think you're going to manifest from a book of lies? You think you're going to manifest good fortune? Prosperity? Huh? Do you think that that's what's going to come from a book of lies? I don't give a damn who says it's okay for her to do it. It's not okay. You stole from somebody and then resold it. And all that energy that was around her from her comments for saying, I don't want to go out protesting. I'm going to do what Jesus would do. I'm a Christian. You like a Christian colonizer where you go and you find something that somebody else has and you take it and sell it as your own. That's what colonizers do. Yes, you absolutely right. That's what white people do, and it's not allowed. And you're going to get your ass cussed the fuck out every single time. You don't steal from people, resell it, make $1 million, and then get down on TV and degrade people for helping you make that $1 million, bitch. And then y'all, oh, it's preference. You know, black women, they got to have standards. That's all well and good. But in this case, this is not the case in this example right here. This is not the case. So now you're sitting around somebody who plagiarized that you can't trust her. Oh, she's opening up a co-working space for women. Why? So you could take everybody's fucking ideas? You manifested that? Is that that's what you came to in your meditation? Let me go and then blame it on a design firm. Bitch, design don't have nothing to do with content. Design is telling you what pages should go where. They don't know the shit that they're designing for you is fucking stolen, bitch. And I'm personally offended because you're using what people out here are really trying to help people manifest their best life. And you a whole manifested fucking lie. That's all you are, is a goddamn liar. You are not to be trusted. And then the gall to blame it on a design firm. Bitch, you pulled those things. I be up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Doing what? Stealing off of Pinterest? Bitch, and the copyright, you knew what the fuck you was doing, because on the real pages, the copyright is at the bottom. What is it called? The happiness planner, the black girl that she stole from? Down at the bottom. It has the copyright. That shit is covered on your book with some text. You know what the fuck you were doing, bitch. And you run your mouth, your big mouth, too much. You brought all of that energy onto yourself. Because if your mouth wasn't so fucking big, bitch, and you wasn't down there, I made $1 million, it's going to be sold out again. No, it's not. No, it's not. And guess what? B. Simone, bitch, Braylon, you manifested that. That's the gag, bitch. You manifested what's going on in your reality today. You manifested that. So you need to rewrite another book and write it yourself and not steal pages from other creators who took their time. Who took their time at 3 o'clock in the morning. Who neglected their family and their things so that they can make a book to help people. Not one to steal from people. And then you stole it and it's still fucked up. You didn't even do right by the shit. You didn't even make it better, bitch. At least if you're going to steal some shit, make it better. Rearrange the fucking words. Get a thesaurus out, bitch, and change some of the words. Now look at you. Now you're going to, all the money that you've made on this book about being a manifestation queen. You're a manifested lie. That's what you are. And yes, we all make mistakes, but bitch, you're going to have to own up to this, and you're going to have to learn your lesson, and you're going to have to write another book. This is the lesson I learned in manifesting. And you need to write this journey down from the time that you got down to the TV. And I thought it was hilarious how everybody was like, oh, she has preferences. What, a drug dealer who can be sitting up under her at 3 o'clock because he ain't got no job to go to the next day? She has her preferences. The black women need to have standards. Yes, that's all well and true, but this is not the case of that. I was offended. At first, I was joking like, girl, okay. But then after a while, as I was processing it, I was like, this bitch really stole from three creators. Stole from 3 people, 2 white women and a black woman. If I'm not mistaken, it might be 1 black, 1 white. You steal from them, put this book out, then get on, you in Forbes and everything for saying you made $1 million. In Forbes, I'm looking at your ass is crazy. Because this is the second time in 30 days where you have had somebody in a magazine that, I'm sure everybody in that motherfucking magazine, because a lot of empires and corporations are built on some fraudulent shit. But hey, let me tell you something. You might be a manifestation queen because you really manifested this quickly, girl. This came out quick as hell. You made $1 million, and now you got to turn around and pay these lawyer fees and copyright infringements. Creators know, YouTube creators know, put something in your video that don't belong to you. See, don't your shit get taken down. See, don't they tell you, cut this part out. The rest is yours. Cut this part out. If you don't, we pulling the whole video. And if you do it 3 times, we pulling your whole fucking channel. We don't play that shit. So it's not acceptable. I don't give a damn if Kylie went into the operating room and came out looking like motherfucking Naomi Campbell. Bitch, that don't excuse what B. Simone did. That's two fucking different things. Yeah, I'm pissed off. I was mad about that shit. One don't have to do with another thing. And that's what somebody said. She needs to, whatever money she made, you need to pay those ladies for using their work, and you need to donate some of that money to somebody. Since you don't want to be out in the street as an angry black woman, even though you've made your fucking career on hollering and screaming in a fucking car, being angry about you not being able to get a nigga, being desperate for a man. And all of a sudden, everybody is sitting behind you. All of these femme channels, these femininity pushing channels, and saying, well, she has standards and she has preferences, and men don't understand when women have standards. If they can't meet the standards, all of a sudden they want you to lower your standards. I got on a nigga the other day talking about she needs to humble her standards. She didn't have no standards. The only standard she has was that a nigga didn't work so he could be around her. And then she went to tell you in her own words, everybody who was standing behind her, she had a preference. No, she didn't. She lied to y'all. She was lying. She's desperate for a nigga to be up under her at all times. That's what it is. That's all it is. It's not even about the money. It's about the lifestyle. You heard it out of her own fucking mouth. So all these femininity channels who are trying to make it seem like what B. Simone said was real, she lied to y'all. Y'all need to make another video like, bitch, this is not what we was really talking about. Let me give you an examples of women who have standards, who follow those standards, who say they want a man like this. I want an entrepreneur husband, struggling rapper, D-list rapper. I don't give a fuck, an entrepreneur. In other words, a nigga with no schedule who could be with me to travel when I want to. That's all she wants, is a fuck boy with no schedule. And then you get down on the TV and this is what you manifested, sweetie, baby girl. This is what you manifested. This is your manifestation. This is your reality. You brought this energy into your reality because you stole and you were lying. You were lying to yourself and you lied to people. And now you don't understand what the hell is going on. Remember those seeds you planted? Look at what you've planted. It's growing now. It's harvesting. This is what you created, girl. This is your manifestation. And then you teaching these, and like she's 30, right? So naturally there are girls who are trying to figure this thing out, right? Trying to like, okay, what's going on? I'm 24 years old, 25 years old. I need to figure out the life that I want for myself. And I need to figure out how I need to do that. You didn't even do that in your book. You didn't even do that in your book. I watched a lot of reviews, 4 reviews on YouTube. All of them bad. All of them bad. And half of the people who bought it just did it because they like you. Half of the people who bought that book just did it. They gave you money to support a black woman and you sold them a fucking lie. You should be ashamed of yourself. I told y'all. And you know what Virgo loves to tell y'all? I told y'all so. But I told y'all so the other day that girl was lying to y'all. She was not even, she said one thing one place, said another thing another place. You don't even know, and then when you manifest the shit, you don't even know where it came from. Because you're not playing. You're not being deliberate. You're not being intentional. You're lying to yourself. So guess what you're going to bring into your reality? A whole fucking lie. And you've been exposed. You manifested that. And you've been exposed. And then you blame somebody else. So you haven't learned a motherfucking thing. Not one motherfucking thing. I will give you an idea, bitch. Write about this. And write how you manifested what you did not want in your life. Because you lied to people. Y'all take care of each other. Peace.